Hi, let's do a sketchbook tour of this notebook for 2025. Sorry for crap quality, and let's get right into it. So this is a notebook cover for my job. I just gotta tuck on some stickers. This is another notebook cover from when I worked as a vet receptionist. Another notebook cover. And this is like a magazine that we got. So first real page, I got some wolf characters that I was designing for a story. I was thinking about writing a story about a group of wolves during the Pleistocene. And they just kind of go from point A to point B. So I kind of drew getting some ideas of the lore. And then kind of drawing some of the dynamics between them. This is my previous D&D character. Her name is Unia. This is her love interest. Some of these are kind of older, so I just kind of like took them out from other notebooks and just pasted them in here. Highlighting style, I was inspired by actually Ray, June. So you'll be kind of seeing some of that in here. And then this is my current D&D character, Verbena, who we'll also see a little bit later on as well. Just some random things and a fairy design I'm considering doing for our next D&D campaign. I have an issue where I just kind of keep wanting to do different characters. I have like another character design in here somewhere. Some more wolf little bits in the group shot. More fairy design. Here I'm thinking about like a bat cape with the hood. Kind of like a shirt design. I was thinking about having, if they had to do like a paladin or something, having the armor be like pine cone, like tree bark, a bit of a beetle, potentially some like spider webbing for like chainmail, and like an acorn helmet. I was also thinking of doing like more like a barbarian type, wearing like chipmunk pelt with like the eye sockets where the antennae come through. And some more. Another idea with the chipmunk cape. And then I wanted to have like a flower at the back of the head, like a forget-me-not. And then here is where I drew my other friend's D&D character. So here I started drawing our friend group's D&D characters. This one is Cornelius, who is a dragonborn. I was trying to figure out how to draw him. Some of these are referencing Komodo dragon, like especially their weird front claws. And that was also referencing their face. And then just a little Animal Crossing. Next up, we have our DM's DMPC, who is Niall. They are a fox. I don't know if they have a specific name, but little fox. I was working out how I wanted to draw him. Originally, I was kind of thinking of drawing him, with these proportions, but then I kind of wanted to make him a bit smaller. So I kind of started working on those proportions. So the ones I highlighted are kind of the ones where I'm like, I like these proportions. I want to kind of stick with these. Tails style. Animal Crossing style too. And yeah, he is a cleric, so I'll try to draw him. Next is my other friend's character, who is a Tabaxi? The cat ones. So kind of same thing, trying to figure out proportions, how I wanted to draw her face. A little Animal Crossing. And then just kind of like cat poses and cat faces and yeah. Another friend's character is Dust Talon, who is a owlin. So I really had no idea how to start with him. Like the bird face, the beaks, I wasn't sure, so I referenced some photos of owls, like great horned owls or Eurasian eagle owls. I think this was a snow owl, maybe, I don't know. Just to kind of get an idea of how their faces. This is the picture that kind of really helped me figure out what their faces are, or what's going on with their faces. So I kind of started using that to kind of figure out. I believe this was another photo as well, so I started working on expressions based off of that, and just like different, like this one, I was kind of figuring out, okay, how does his mouth do? Another Animal Crossing film. So yeah, this one I had a lot of fun with figuring out how to, draw those like beak mouth things. Next is other friend's character. They haven't really played D&D too much since, but they had a human character. They also had a bugbear character. I don't usually draw guys, so I started trying to draw like more muscular people, figuring out how to like actually draw. And then also armor. Armor's based off of Lord Ashafant from Final Fantasy XIV. Leave me alone. And then most of these, like this one and those two, referenced from Shang from Mulan, the animated one, and then just a bugbear version. His other character's a bugbear. Alright, next is another our D&D group, kind of a big group. This one is Percival, who is I forgot what the crow people are called, or corporate. I don't know. This one was another tricky one because of the beak mouth. I'm not sure how to go about doing that. This one, this is the first one I did. I did that while I was in the waiting room of a doctor's office, and I just kind of tore it out and put it in here. Yeah, like crow, like their beaks are weird. And then here's my D&D character. I've kind of already figured out how I want to draw her, so I didn't really do a whole lot of like practicing. These were photos of rabbit feet. They just have weird paws. Like, they don't really have paw pads. They just fur. These were referenced from Watership Down. I just kind of did a sketch, a little doodle of the Puella Magica Magica girls. Here are some random things I tore out from different notebooks. I kind of sketched and doodled in, just like random eyes. This is a random character design. I don't really have anything for that. Don't know, just a random critter. This one I just kind of drew and just kept going and going and going. This is like a fawn character who's a fawn, like a fawn, a satyr fawn or something. Another idea for a D&D character, maybe. Okay. Kind of remove a scrapbooking page. Another picture I drew of another friend's character. Actually, they're the same friend who has the human or the bugbear character. This one, I just thought these were really cute, so I just kind of put that there. These stickers I'll put in the description who these are from. So this one, this one. Oh, spoilers for Final Fantasy Heaven Sword. This one is just kind of like a big picture I had in mind. I don't think I'll ever finish this because it's kind of ambitious and I'm very intimidated by it. Maybe someday, but I don't know about that. This is another notebook cover. It originally said like Wanderlust, but then one of my coworkers put this on there, so I just had to keep it on there. This one we went to a like a chord maze, so this was the little things that kept that. Here is some sketches of Noja characters. So Rakio, Setsu, Chippy, SQ, and Otome. If you haven't watched the anime, which is still, the first part just came out, or finished, or played the game, it's very fun. It's single player deduction with like looping mechanics. Here is my Final Fantasy XIV character and just some random sketches of her and some other characters. Here's some other characters I have that I'm not really, just kind of hanging around there. This one, just some random wolves. And then this I was copying and referencing this one angle that they keep doing in Wolf's Rain. I've always loved this angle, and so I finally got to a point where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can learn it. So there's paused the show during a part with Cheza and just kind of practiced. And then just some random little bits and pieces there. This is another character in a story. Another story I want to do. Kind of like a dragon person. So I just wanted to, I like the contrast of like them having like the dark skin with white scales. But oh no, it bled through, so I didn't use this page. Just another random thing from Notebook. And then just some random animal sketches. We were going to go to the zoo. I think here I was kind of waiting for people to kind of show up. This one, oh my god, what is it? I don't know if it's a salmon. Maybe it is, or howler. Maybe it's a howler. I don't know. Oh shoot, what is this one? It's a little fluffy thing. And these are kind of combine like owl, monkey, or patas, and like a different owl, so just kind of how that would look. And seahorse and the patas. I liked how just sheep they were. This is Unia if I was putting her in the world where that dragon character is. So like how would I have to translate her to this dragon world? Because she's originally a tiefling, which isn't really dragony, but visually pretty close. Random. See, I'm not so good at using up all the page space, as you can tell. These are more sketches. This was a tree shrew, Komodo dragon, hornbill. This was someone that I saw in a dream that I was just like, I know this person. I don't remember their name, but I just wanted to just. So I asked like some people that I was like, I think you might know this person. Who does this look like? And no one recognized that, but I did find out the person, everything was fine. Alright, and then just empty space. Oh yeah, it was the Golden Line, like Tamarin, I think Tamarin or something. This was just kind of a little experiment I was doing, kind of drew these and wanted to see if the Patas monkeys would react to anything. The only one that kind of looked over, just kind of seemed a little like offended I would show them this. Just kind of looked at it and just went like, ugh, and left. There was a bit of a time skip here, so this was still at the zoo, the Tamandua, and for once I saw him coming out, and like the tail was like kind of wrapping around here, and then the birds were very interesting. So here, this is from further ahead. I went back and looked at some of the photos and just kind of drew from reference. This is without reference, and then the rest are with. Yes, this was a reference of a muntjac deer, but they have the scent glands, and so I thought that was just kind of freaky. Trying to draw a bit of a background from a photo I took on a hike. think it came out too well. And then just some freaky deer with eyes. Character design from the story on the right. This is the main character with the dragon, the story of the dragon person. You'll see them throughout because I don't have a finalized design yet, and then go through some different ideas throughout. And then speaking of, here are more just kind of ideas of that character. And here I was testing out some highlighters and like silhouetting. So there's a deer and then some like deer tour, but then also I started trying different critters and animals. Here I did more like testing out, like blending them. Here's just a cat. Just some random critters. This is another character from that same story with the dragon. I think I'm pretty set on this design, but there's still some things I want to tweak and figure out. This one, I was watching a video, and it's like on like the worst Pokemon of every generation or something, or like underrated or something, and so I was kind of drawing them as they came up. Try to do some like horse studies because horses are kind of hard to draw, and then just kind of figuring out how to like translate different Pokemon into like my style, how I would draw them if they're like animals or that. This is my friend's character, same one as that had the bugbear character. It's kind of like a forest, naturey person. Try coloring it with like highlighters. Just some random bits and pieces here. Try to show you the highlighter. So this is back to time-wise. I think this is like the next one of before the zoo, or like with the zoo. So this was a blue crane. There was one part that freaked me out where the head, the angle of the head just right, so I could see into one nostril and out the other, so I could see like through their face. It was a little freaky. And the Bactrian camels, they're just so weird shapes. Like I cannot get over it. They're just like these big, just creatures. Some penguins, and they're just kind of honking, yelling. Tried to draw some plants from reference that they had like on the trail. Tiger, some more wolves. The sea eagles that they had, like one of them I think had an injured talon, so it just kind of was like the claw was like balled up like that. Not too much to say about these, just some random silhouettes. This I was gonna try to draw like a couple's picture, but then I just never did. Some kind of clothing ideas for the story. Another character, and then just kind of like hand poses, and then drawing from memory. We did a road trip. I kind of drew the car ahead of us because I'm not so good at drawing cars. And then my friend's Final Fantasy 14 characters. My friend. And then drew these from photos of a Egyptian vulture out there. So pretty. I love them. I don't know if I can show all of this one. Just some different pictures. These are some newborn calves. And then this was just this giant pig at the fair. It was just this giant, just absolute unit. And then some other animals. This is from like another zoo place. This was on a hike. This is supposed to be a stump, but I didn't do very well. This is an opening pine cone. It looked like it was kind of like opening. a Final Fantasy character, a deer, mod of economy's eye, Egyptian vulture again, Rakio, Setsu, randoms. Just kind of blocking that one. And just some other scrapping. This one we went to Gen Con and we did like this little like D&D thing. So this was my character and I kind of just had fun with that. More sketches of my friend's character. A bunch of these are Noja and just random. More character design ideas for that main character. I think there's another page coming up because I'm just still not decided. So I was just drawing random animals. I went to like this random animal generator and it gave me pronghorn and bison. Friend's character, again, I tried to draw in like a, what is that style called? Like Art Nouveau, but like the really detailed type of thing. And because I don't usually do a lot of detail, so I was trying to practice that, but I don't know if I did it okay or if it's just clutter. And I'm really bad at these line boxes, so the cards are cute, so I put a bunch of them in here. I'm just like really bad. It's a bit of a problem. I'm sorry. Shame. Kind of like redraws of the in-game sprites for Noja. More main character ideas. This, I drew this based off of Trope Talk. They had a video on haunting the narratives, and they had this kind of picture of, you know, the character who was like haunting the narrative and all the characters affected by their passing. So that's kind of, I wanted to kind of emulate that. Kind of how I would maybe look if I was in the Noja universe. I'm trying to figure out, I want to draw my friend's Final Fantasy 14 character, one of them who is a Hrothgar. So I'm trying to figure out their faces, next few pages I made my friends draw in them. So one of my friends, she hadn't drawn in a while. So the last thing she really drew was like in her notebook in school, like high school, and she would do the Star Trek. There's that. This is my friend's, the same friend who has the Hrothgar. Here's their lalafell character. Our DM for the D&D game. This is one of his oldest characters. And one of my friends just kind of, so when I asked all of them to do some sketch, let's just sketch whatever they want. And this one just kind of went with the flow. They didn't have like a plan, they just kind of went right in. And I just thought it was really interesting how each friend took the prompt, because I basically just said, draw whatever you want. And they just kind of took it differently, and I love that. More of these, Hrothgar, friend character things. My friend who has the Hrothgar character, this is their main aura. And then I was at their house, and we watched Elf. So I was just kind of drawing some of the characters from there. I think I translated their faces okay. The only one I don't think came across very well is, I think her name is Emily, the Walter's wife and Michael's mother. And that's my friend's dog. Just a random snake. I went to the house when we watched Elf. I asked my friend to draw another character, and they did. My friend's brother drew this, and I love this. It's I think it's a Star Wars prequel. I just love this expression. Kind of drew a dancer from Final Fantasy 14. I'm a bit obsessed. I'm very sorry. A lot of these are that. Here's some other dancer sketches, just because they have like just poses. This is my character and my friends. This is the Hrothgar. So I was trying to draw like everyone's character. So this is the same friend, their Veer character. This is one of our friends' miqo'te characters. I didn't like how this came out, so I tried to figure out how to draw it. I tried it again. Still wasn't super happy. I just did like random like faces, heads. And I did some more just kind of sketches of his character. I think this face came out the best, but I don't know if it's very accurate to the in-game character model. So then I just kind of switched gears and did a different pose. And then I got these marker paint markers, and so I was just kind of practicing these like different. This didn't blend too well. Just kind of how that looks. And then Setsu from Noja. I always thought they had light green hair, but I guess they actually have blonde hair, but it just kind of shades green, so I was kind of focusing and figuring out how to get that on done. It's just kind of this. We were watching Prince of Egypt, so it's kind of like figuring out how to draw like the angular faces. This is that forest character again. Trying the markers. I think it came out okay. Prince lalafell character again. This is toward the end, so I'm just kind of like drawing everyone's Final Fantasy 14 characters before the year's up. This is another friend. This is the one that has the cat D&D character. This is her miqo'te character. And then I wanted to draw all of our characters together, but I ran out of time. I hit there because I wanted to finish this by New Year's, but ran out of time. This is as far as I got. There are lalafells. This is my main. And everyone else has alts that are lalafell. So this is the one I've drawn before, and then these two are to my friends. And this is this friend's aura alt. These two have the a codename guy. This friend, his main is a miqo'te female. Yeah. So here's to 2026. I think I have another sketchbook I'm working on, so I'm gonna try to get one of these done a year. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and Happy New Year. Wishing you all the best for 2026. Let's have fun together.